You're listening to the Becoming Zesty podcast. We are Megan and Dr. Alex, and we're so happy that you're here.
We are passionate about accelerated transformation, yours, ours, and the collective.
Personal and professional for coaches, practitioners, and leaders of all kinds.
Between the two of us, we seem to have done things the painful way. So let our pitfalls become your stepping stones. We are not afraid to share our raw and vulnerable truths in order to help you transform your thinking, your body, your heart, and your soul.
Combining over 15 years of functional medicine with brain-based habit change to lead you to create the life of your dreams, supporting yourself through all four bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, every step of the way.
We are transformation accelerators, wholeness cultivators, empowerment experts, speakers, authors, mentors, and change makers for a more loving world. By combining Dr. Alex's MD experiences
with Megan's mindset magic, we've helped hundreds of thousands of people transform their lives, and we can help you too. If you're ready to accelerate your transformation and have so much fun doing it, then stick around. We've got you covered. Quick reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your doctor, not this doctor, before making changes. Now let's get into today's episode.
Well, hello there. Welcome to the ZESTY podcast. This is Megan here today for a solo episode. And today's episode is going to be for my coaches, my practitioners, my nutritionists, the FDNs, NTPs, acupuncturists, naturopaths, dietitians, may I go on, all the lovely wellness practitioners. And maybe you signed up for what you've signed up for because you wanted to help heal the world. You wanted to help people get healthy. You wanted to be a change and maybe help someone through something that you went through yourself and that you now have resources and tools for. And you may also be caught in between learning how to serve your amazing clients with your gifts and then learning the world of business or online marketing or business systems. I don't know how you even deliver it, how you set up your Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So if that's you, I think this will really resonate today. And I'm going to give you a hack that I have learned over the years to fast track that learning. So I want to make a really solid argument today for why you should consider and why we invest in ourselves quarterly and not just invest in programs and stuff, because I know you're already doing that. If you're here, you're probably like us, you love to learn. But I want you to consider joining something that has an in-person aspect to it. I had someone just ask me recently when I was at an in-person training, not ours, but someone else, and she said, I really want to come to your training. I want to get certified. Why can't I just do it online? And you totally can. You know, we have online programs. Well, not if you want our 4 certifications in NLP and subconscious reprogramming, although you can do a lot online and there are certifications online. And actually, right now, as this episode is coming out, Dr. Alex and I are actually in a room for a week with a whole bunch of amazing practitioners or soon-to-be coaches at our in-person certification training that's in Dallas. So we host these and we go to these. So we thought it would be a good week to have this episode go live so I can share the 4 huge learnings, like really big takeaways that I get from live events. I'm going to sell it to you. And this can be anything. This could just be like a 2-hour workshop in your town, right? This doesn't have to be like a 7-day training like ours. I'm just talking about getting in person with humans. Because not only do we host the live events, we attend them. Okay, so let's get into why we highly suggest and why I said to that person, I said, you can do it online. I was like, and I really, really suggest you make it work to come in person because there is just something different and magical that happens in person. And I'm going to go through the 4 reasons why I think that is. Sound good? Awesome. So glad you're all here today. We really, really appreciate when you share our podcast with friends, when you share it on your social media. If you have social media on Instagram, on a story, if you tag us with your learnings or anything, we love to reshare that. We love to help other people find you. It helps us, it helps you. So we do really appreciate any reviews that are left and any shares, because it helps the people who want to find us. It helps the podcast, this podcast, get into the place where people are looking for podcasts. It helps people find us, not just because someone told them, but it actually helps us go up higher on the podcast player. So we super appreciate it. Let's get into the 4 learnings. Number 1, just getting to the event itself is usually a breakthrough. Let me explain. Now, in order to go to a live event, especially if this event is somewhere that you have to fly to, this event is somewhere that you have to get a hotel for, maybe you have to rent a car, maybe you get an Airbnb and you share it with people you don't know, right? There's all these things that come up in the process of going to an event that can be really helpful. We've had lots of people in the past who actually have never really traveled alone, so that can be a huge breakthrough. Even more importantly than that is not just the actual travel, but it can be the beliefs around the idea of going to something. And maybe you're leaving kids at home. Maybe you're leaving a partner at home. Maybe you're leaving your plants. Maybe you're leaving something that someone has to take care of for you, a pet. Maybe you are getting out of work. Maybe people around you don't do this transformation thing, and they're like, what are you going to? I've had people tell me before, like, well, what will I say I'm going to do? Like therapy for a week? And in my model of the world, it's just hard to understand, because I actively go to transformation type trainings like all the time. So to me, it's like, yeah, I'm just going to an event because who knows what I'll learn. And if this is new, I can see it's people around you might not understand. And then we have that really tricky mirror looking back at us of, do I deserve to take time off to go to this? Do I deserve to ask my family for that time? And maybe the money, maybe the income in your own business or your income in what you're hoping to do isn't there yet. And so not only do you have to actually ask someone, you have to make an argument for it. So just getting to the event is a breakthrough in itself. Physically getting there, signing yourself up for it. I've had this happen where I signed up for an event and I hadn't even gone yet. And because I signed up and I knew I was going to do this thing, I was already starting to do things outside of my comfort zone. This was way back in the early days of my business where I would not go live on platforms. And I was like, I'm going to go live every day till I go to this event. It's like I was already stepping into that new version of me, because I was like, well, why would I start then? Why would I wait till I get there? And we've had this happen with people over and over and over, that they're already doing the thing by the time they get to us. And that's awesome, because then we get to start there and just go even further, up level even more. All right, so once you've gotten there, let's say you've gotten there, that's a breakthrough. You get to see the container itself allows you to see how you operate and what decisions you make. Okay, so once you've gotten there, now we have number 2, a change in your environment. So when you change out your environment, it's really amazing what happens in the brain. You can easily become a new identity because nobody knows you, right? What happens is the people who know us start to confirm every day the things we already believe about ourselves. So if you've ever gone to an event, you could play around with this. You could just show up and just be a totally different person, and nobody knows. And I'm not saying to lie about who you are. It's just that if you are headed in a direction of you wanting to be at a different identity, you're wanting to step into a really healthy, strong, empowered version of you, you're wanting to step into a really successful coach version of you, whatever that is, you can go into that event and just do it. You can speak like that from the beginning, and you can start to practice because the cues around you are different. The environment around you is different. So the speed in which you will rewire your neural pathways is incredibly heightened. So if you show up with a different identity and then you're open to doing all the different processes, you are going to come out that a different person. I just went to an event. I went to Laura Schoenfeld's amazing in-person event in North Carolina called The Nourished CEO. It was a fabulous 2 days. And it was such a good time. I connected with so many amazing people. If you were there, hi. It's good to see you, hear you, be with you. It was really, really fun. And what happened for me is that the second I got into that space and I was writing down, what do I want to get out of this? And what am I going to focus on? I was stepping into a new identity. I had been playing around with an idea in my head for a really long time of starting a brand new Instagram page. So let me tell you a little backstory. We've had, our business for over 10 years now. And we started in the hormone health space. We started speaking directly to women about their cycles. And that was how we built our Instagram page. So as we've shifted a lot, because now we really focus on helping practitioners and coaches who want to add these amazing tools that will then allow them to go help all the amazing women out there change their hormone health or whatever it is around their health or whatever it is around their life, their success. As we were shifting toward that, not everybody's going to want to hear what we're talking about anymore. And a lot of the things you'll find, on this podcast, they are about general transformation. It doesn't matter if you have a business or not. And so we have tons of resources here for everybody. And you can go all the way back and you can find out every single phase of your cycle. You can go to episode 1, season 1, episode 1, and do that whole 20 part series or 28, whatever it is, right? There's all the resources are still here. Although we've really shifted to who we're speaking to. But I found that I was really holding back on Instagram of sharing directly to coaches because sometimes it's like, well, all those other people don't want to hear about that. And I was also really hesitating. I didn't really want to start a second Instagram, to be honest. I'm like, I don't want to do double. Social media is not my favorite place to be. I use it as a way of connecting with people. And I think it has a great purpose, but it's not somewhere I want to spend a ton of time. So I was really pushing back about this, but something about being in that new environment within the first, hour when Laura says, okay, what are you all committing to? I was just like, that's what it is. I'm going to start that new Instagram page. I raised my hand. I said it out loud. Everyone held me accountable, and I had the page done by the next day. So for those of you who are coaches and want to be getting the inside scoop of all the amazing subconscious reprogramming and the NLP and the tools that we use for practitioners, you can come find that account. It's at ZESTY_NLP_training. We'll make sure it's in the show notes too. But so I started that account right in that event. And I was laughing so hard. I was like, this is something I have been thinking about and going back and forth on for 9 months, because I've heard people say, well, if you've had this account for more than 5 years and you've changed your niche, then you really should start a new one. And I'd be like, is that really true? I don't want to believe that. So I'd gone back and forth. And in this moment, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And it felt like it was going to be a really big deal, but really I actually wrote the bio and had the first picture up just sitting there in the event. And so that was really cool to see. It's like the moment you make the decision, it's easy. I've said this before. It's the sitting on the fence part that's hard. It's like when you have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, 1 foot over the fence, 1 foot on the other side. That's painful if you think about how that feels. But once you are all in, it was easy. And it was. And I just shifted. And then I got really excited. I was like, oh, I can speak directly about what I want to talk about. I don't feel like I have to filter myself, because coaches and people in the health world, they get this stuff. They get the behind the scenes of what it takes to really help somebody shift habits, and how much we may be fighting against like the beliefs that they have. They say like, oh, I really just need a meal plan. I really just need some structure. But we know that's not true. We know we've laid out the most amazing plans ever, and they've done the best functional lab work ever, and they're still not doing the thing, or they're still not getting the change. We've seen that. So it was just a clear shift. Changing your environment is one of the most powerful things you can do for success. All right, number three. This is the third reason why I'm suggesting getting into a live in-person event. So how you connect and interact with people is going to be the next breakthrough, right? Just getting there was a breakthrough, and then how you connect with these people. Because one, we get to see our patterns. How we do one thing is how we do everything, right? So are you going to shy away from talking to the person next to you? Are you going to not ever want to raise your hand? Or are you going to do the opposite and feel like you have to say everything and be really smart? And are you going to hold back on your vulnerability and only share when you feel like you know the answer? So you get to see your pattern. I found from my pattern, I love groups. I'm all about groups. My whole human design is like transformation of groups of humans, but I don't want to be in the group fully. I want to bring the group together, and then I'm almost on the outside. So there's this push and pull of like, I want to be included, but I don't want to be totally in the energy of the group. I get overwhelmed that I want to be included, but I kind of want to be on the outskirts. So I get to watch this play that I have of like, I want to be in all the things, and I really need time for processing, and I really need time to myself, and I really need to allow emotions to move through me. So you get to see your patterns. But even more than that, the connections, like the people, you just never know what that one connection, that one person who's sitting next to you, what that one conversation is going to lead to. I think I've told this story before. I don't know about it if it was on the podcast, but I have this. When we moved out of our house, because we found we had mold in the walls after we bought the house, and we moved into a place while we were getting it remediated. I moved in on a street, and I was going to walk down. We could walk down to the beach from there, and walked by this other family. And this woman came right up to me. She had a son that was just about my daughter's age, my younger daughter's age. And she was like, oh, hi, who are you? And she got my first and last name. And I had a shirt on, I think with the Om symbol. And so she immediately was like, you're my people. We're going to be friends. And she followed right up. And within the next 10, 15 minutes, I found out that she had a good friend who'd been through a major mold journey. She had done all the research. She was way ahead of me on it. It was all the things I was about to learn. She brought over an air filter and a purifier, and she had the essential oils for it. And, it was just exactly what I needed at that moment. And from then on, that friend, she's my best friend here in the local area, she is the person who always introduces the next thing, the next exact thing I need. It'll be a book. She introduced the presence process to me, or it'll be some course she's about to do, or some event she's about to go to, or whatever it is. I'm always listening when she suggests it. And I can't even imagine, like, if I just hadn't run into her that day. It was like that one connection has led to so many things. I'm a completely different person because of it. And that's why I highly suggest you get in rooms with other people who are like-minded. And not just like-minded, but are thinking big, or are willing to question their paradigms and willing to see if they can break it open. All right, the number 4 argument for going to in-person trainings is new skills. So as I mentioned, I was just recently at that live event with Laura, and at the end she said, "What are you lacking? Let's check in. Like, what are you lacking to do the next thing you want to do? Is it a skill that you're lacking, or is it a belief?" And that just really stood out to me. I was like, "Oh yeah, Laura's got all the skills when it comes to the business side of things, because she is an amazing." She's an amazing business strategist, an amazing way of breaking things down really simply, especially for people with nutrition and health businesses. And then I was like, and I do the belief thing. I was like, we need both, right? And in some cases, though, we have the skill and we are just stopping ourselves. We are just not doing the next thing. And in other cases, we really are lacking the skill to do the thing that we want to do well. So, for example, if you're struggling to get more clients, you might be missing this crucial piece. So maybe you've tried getting more education in your field, or you've hired a business coach to show you like email marketing or how a funnel works. And maybe you're starting to wonder if this is just a you problem. Anybody? What if I told you the secret to tackling that problem is not more education, but instead a way to rewire the hardwired beliefs that you have to work hard to be successful? That's a strong one. Or no one will ever buy from you. Or that healers don't make money. That's when Dr. Alex and I had really, really strongly. And this is actually a skill and a belief, in my belief. The tools to learn how to do subconscious reprogramming is a skill. And that's a skill that we're teaching right now. Not right now, but when this is live, in a room with all these practitioners. And they don't necessarily need another certification, although they will leave with 4 more. And really the skill is to have a way to shift beliefs. So your beliefs and the people you work with. Like, how powerful is that? The skill is a skill that you could offer as a service. You could offer, I'm going to give you a breakthrough on how to shift your beliefs, or you can do it with yourself and then allow you to break through to the next level. So like, how powerful is that? All those things that you're going to happen and learn in an in-person training. I think I've made a very good argument. I guess we'll find out, because I made a strong case for coming to hang out with us in person, or if not us, honestly, just find someone doing in-person things that you resonate with. I'd love to hear your feedback of, yes, I went, and yes, I see how that's a much bigger breakthrough than joining something where I kind of can hang out virtually and hide, right? Where I had to like show my face. Or I was joking at the event that I was just at, I was joking about how like I have Zoom hair and outfits where like I only put, I mean, if you're looking at this, if you're seeing this in video form, you would be able to see that I have jammies on the bottom half. I actually only have a sweatshirt on the top, so it kind of matches. But normally for like a bigger presentation, I have like jammies on the bottom, a nice shirt, maybe a nice jacket, and then Zoom hair where you've curled. Is it just me? Like you've only curled the front couple pieces? Today I've done nothing, but that's what I consider Zoom hair, like didn't address the back, and then start going to in-person events and you're like, oh wow, I gotta address my whole head of hair. So I'll have a breakthrough in that too. But I really do hope that if you would like to come join us, you do have the next chance would be to join us January 19th and 20th. Yes, it's a little bit away, but you know, for many of you would be traveling. This is in 2024 in Virginia Beach, Virginia. In general, we've kind of been doing these events twice a year. So January, probably August would be the next, January and August. But the next one is January 19th and 20th in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We had a bunch of people fly in last year where we were thinking would be local. And then there was majority of people were not local at all. So that was really cool. In a very cool spot, a couple blocks from the ocean, pretty close to where I live. And we are going to have all the things I just mentioned. We are going to actually be shifting limiting beliefs, because we're going to teach you how to do that. We're going to be connecting with people who are all there to learn and grow and to transform and help you see things and reframe things quickly in a different way. So new skills, interact with other people. You're going to be changing your environment, that's for sure. Pretty sure we're going to have another amazing sound healing, as long as my sound healer man can come. Fingers crossed. I haven't asked him for the date yet. And then just getting there. You can have a breakthrough around just getting there. Cool. And you won't really have to have a breakthrough about the investment, because it's only $197 if you join before December 10th. We have made this incredibly low priced, especially for a 2-day in-person event, if you go to these kind of things, so that You can all come and experience this so that we can connect with all the amazing practitioners in the world, because our goal long-term is actually to change conventional medicine and the education system and how we interact. So we have a big mission and we want you all there. We do not want the price to be a factor. Alrighty. Well, I will put the link in the show notes. becomingzesty.com/JAN for January should redirect you to the page. I try to make it a quick link. And we really, really hope to see you there. All right. Have a fabulous day. And I'm going to be taking a little break next week. The week after training, we always decompress and allow ourselves to integrate. I have a huge up level every time we do a training, just as well as all the students. So if you're more interested in learning about the actual certification trainings, the longer trainings that we do in Dallas, either 6 or 7 day, then please just go ahead and email support@becomingzesty.com and we can get you on the phone with one of us or someone who's been there or answer your questions via email. Okay? I hope you have a fabulous day. Thanks for coming to hang out with us on the podcast. It is our goal to lead others through accelerated transformation that takes all parts of ourselves into account. And we need your help. We need your help to get the word out. At almost 2 million downloads and quickly heading to 3, we know that as this podcast grows, we're going to be able to reach more and more people and help them learn how all 4 bodies, physical, mental, emotional, and energetic, work so they feel empowered to be, do, and have whatever they want in life.
If you find this podcast helpful, please take a moment to text 5 friends you think might benefit and leave us a review. It means so much to share this work that has transformed our lives with others. We appreciate your help so much and can't wait to see you next time.